Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, we're going to be looking at the TECHSEW 810 post-bed sewing machine. The first new machine I ever purchased was a TECHSEW 5100 about 5 years ago, and I've been using TECHSEW machines in my shop ever since. So when TECHSEW asked me if I was interested in reviewing the 810, I was very curious because I've never tried a post-bed sewing machine before. To be completely transparent with you, TECHSEW did send me this machine for the purpose of this review, but I am not being paid to say anything about this machine, or do I receive royalties or sales commissions from this video. That being said, I'm going to give you my honest opinion about this machine, and I hope it helps you understand a little bit more about the 810. So let's get to it. I think most of us, when looking to purchase a sewing machine, we want to be able to get the best bang for our buck. A single machine that can tackle all those hard to reach gussets and awkward spots, flatbed work, hat patches, upholstery, footwear, you name it. But unfortunately, that unicorn machine does not exist. When buying a machine, the best thing to do is to really think about what type of work you want to get into. The TECHSEW 810 is a pretty niche machine as it does a few things well. The two main reasons, in my opinion, to get the 810 is for hat patches and footwear because of the post-bed design. Although it does come with an optional flatbed attachment, it wouldn't replace my other machines that are far better suited for flatbed work. But I'll talk about that a little later on. So there are two different packages or options that are available, the standard 810 or the 810 Pro. The actual main body or chassis of the machines are the same, but there are differences when it comes to the add-ons in the Pro package. I'm going to quickly talk about what the stock machines come with, and then I'll talk about the Pro package add-ons. The 810 features a 7-inch post and has a single bottom feed and roller foot design. This means that the bottom feed dog is the only single mechanism that pulls your material through the machine. The pressure from the roller foot on the feed dog is what keeps the force on your material, and as the feed dog moves, it pulls the material towards and past the needle. TECHSEW has another model, the 830, that has two feeds, a top and bottom wheel, which you can check out on their website. The 810 features a reverse lever for back stitching and a stitch length adjustment knob which ranges from 5 to 25 stitches per inch, or 1 to 5 millimeters in stitch length. It also comes with a universal bobbin winder that stands separate from the machine itself, which is driven by the main belt of the machine. Both package options of the 810 come with a variable speed smart servo motor. However, you do have the option to purchase a speed reducer in the non-Pro package, which I highly recommend. Although the smart servo motor has speed control on it, it still won't be as slow or as torquey as compared to adding the optional speed reducer. Again, I highly recommend putting a speed reducer on all leather sewing machines because a speed reducer really slows down the machine to a manageable speed while greatly increasing torque, which helps with sewing multiple layers of leather. I've had a few friends who didn't purchase a speed reducer with their machines and greatly regretted it later, because to add a speed reducer later can be really cumbersome and tricky. The 810 also comes with a table, LED lamp, thread stand, accessories, and instruction manual. And one last thing, which is super important, it also comes with free lifetime technical support, which is so very key. Because when your machine malfunctions or you have a problem or you accidentally damage something, TECHSEW is there to guide you through the entire process. There's nothing more frustrating than sitting in front of a broken machine while you are trying to fix it by looking up how-tos on the internet. TECHSEW's technical support came in handy for me a few times in the past. Okay, so now let's take a look at some of the add-ons with the Pro package. The Pro package includes things that, in my opinion, are worth the upgrade. The first one is the speed reducer. And like I mentioned earlier, the speed reducer slows down that machine to a manageable speed and really increases the torque. The second add-on is the drop-down edge guide. I use this thing all the time in my leather work because it ensures a straight stitch line on all of the edges of my projects. When you don't want to use it, simply flip it up and it's out of your way. Add-on number 3 is the automatic needle positioning system. This feature makes the machine complete a full rotation of the needle one stitch at a time. I explained this feature in the review video of the 4800, and I'll put a link in the description so you can watch that video later. The fourth add-on is the rubber roller presser foot, which reduces marks on your leather projects. And the last add-on is the new aluminum flatbed attachment, which turns the post bed into a flatbed machine. I've had this machine for just over 3 months now, and although I haven't used it nearly as much as my other machines, it really does come in handy in one area of my leather work, and that is sewing on leather hat patches. Up until this point, I have been using a cylinder arm machine which works, but not nearly as well as a post bed machine. The post bed design is the perfect option for this kind of work because it allows me to fully maneuver the hat around the post. It really speeds up my workflow, especially if I'm doing large batches of hats. Another thing I really like is the ability to turn this into a flatbed machine. Although I must admit that if I need to do a lot of flatbed work, I would rather use a machine that has a walking foot instead of a single feed mechanism. My TECHSEW 4800 is a walking foot machine that has a top and bottom feed. This means that the feed dog and the presser foot move in tandem to feed the material through the machine. This really improves the overall consistency of the stitch. Another thing to keep in mind about the 810 is that the presser foot clearance isn't very high compared to other machines in their lineup. It's not a heavy duty machine. It's meant for light to medium duty work. The clearance of the foot is 3/8 of an inch and sewing capacity is 5/16 of an inch, so keep that in mind when sewing wallets or thicker items. One thing I also noticed is that because it's a single feed machine, the pressure of the roller foot on the feed dog has to be pretty strong. This pressure will result in the marking up of the back side of the leather project. If you lessen the pressure on the roller wheel to reduce feed dog marks, you run the risk of the feed dog slipping, which will create inconsistent stitch lengths. That's why I opt for a more suited machine for flatbed work. Although when in a pinch and you need to sew some flatbed type work, it will do the job. Just not as accurately in my opinion. But at the end of the day, this is a post-bed machine, so do post-bed things on it. You could take a Lamborghini off-road and it might work, but there are other suited vehicles for off-roading. In other words, use the right machine for the job. When sewing hats or footwear type projects, the back of the project is not seen, so marking is not a problem anyway. Overall, if you are looking for a machine to do hat patches or footwear, the 810 is a great option. Machines in the end are tools to make your life easier, and this does just that. So, who is this machine for? Well, quite obviously anyone who is into sewing hat patches or footwear, and also if you do the occasional wallet or two. If you have any questions about this machine or any machine in the TECHSEW lineup, Ron at TECHSEW is incredibly knowledgeable about all of their machines. He has helped and guided me as to what machine was best for my needs and what to consider before purchasing one. You can reach out to Ron through Instagram or send an email. Well, that's it for me today, guys. I hope today's video gave you a little insight as to what the TECHSEW 810 post machine is all about. I hope you're doing well and you're making lots of things and you're having a great time doing it. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless. Peace. And fade to black.